Hi, Andrew.
Look very different, like you, bro. Nice. I love your cap.
Yeah, just change a new webcam. Yeah, you
Nice.
can see me clearly now.
Yeah, very clear, very clear. Okay. Shall we wait a few minutes or shall we start?
I
Maybe.
think we start on time better.
Okay, cool. We benefit those who come in early. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's start. Yes, okay. Can I just have a quick show of hands, guys, before we start? Who is new here? I see a lot of familiar faces and familiar names, but anyone here new? Uh, and just maybe just put one in the group if you're new in the chat group, or it's the first time you're coming in. Okay. Otherwise, I think mostly everybody is here, huh? Because I normally like to start any presentation of products with our absolute quality, absolute price. Oh, okay, that's good. All right. Okay, there's one person is new, so because I was thinking I'll bypass that. I'll do this anyway, lah. All right. Okay. Great. Thank you so much for your response, Zoom user. All right. Okay. I just wanted to since you're new here, and I suppose your oh, all right. You're from the UK. Fantastic. Thank you again. That means thank you very much for joining us today. And of course, if you have any questions, just please put it in the chat. Then we will attend to it either after my session or at the end of the tonight. Yeah. Okay, we'll try to keep it short and sweet. Okay, thank you for coming. So let me start by saying that Atomy, I hope you saw the video that was running previously. And if you have, you would have seen this word come up again and again, which is absolute quality, absolute price, absolute quality, absolute price. So I want to explain to you why that was an attraction to me when I first joined BAC. First as a consumer, then of course later as a person who wanted to introduce this to others as well. Okay. Now, all our lives, we've been told basically that, oh, if you want to buy something of quality, it has to be expensive, right? And in many instances, it may have also been in your life, but my first realization of that was once after, as soon as I finished my degree and I had a bit of money, then my dad told me to get some, I think, vitamin B or C or something for my, I think it's B complex for my mom. All right, she's back in Stromban, so I went to the pharmacy, and I saw there were 3 different grades of this vitamin. There was this something from UK that was about 200 ringgit plus minus. The other one was another brand that was 39.90. And then there was another one that was, medium. That was about 70 bucks, 78 or 79 or something, about 80 bucks lah. So I looked in my pocket and I had about 100 ringgit. So what did I do? Of course, I wouldn't get the cheapest for my mom, right? So I got the one that was in the center. So it's a bit like the Goldilocks story, yeah? Not too hot, not too cold, just right, right? So I got that, and I told myself that if I had more money, I could have got the better quality one, right? So at that point in time, I realized that I had compromised. Would I have bought the more expensive one if I had money? Definitely, but I didn't have, right? And I just graduated and stuff. But that was the realization that happened, that sometimes we compromise in life, right? And we are told that. So we have 2 things. One is, if it's good quality, means it's expensive. And number 2 is, we have to cut the cloth according to whatever we have, like, in that sense. So we compromise. But when I discovered Atomy, I realized that that was not the case. They give you the highest quality product for the absolute lowest price, and it's not relative price. That's why the AQAP, which I put in the title of today's talk, is absolute quality. I mean, the highest possible quality for the lowest possible price. Absolute quality, absolute price. And that is a narrative that runs through all their products. Whatever product you choose, whether they manufacture it themselves or they use the GSGS system, and link up with good quality product manufacturers to bring their products onto the mall, whichever it is, you are assured of getting the highest possible quality for the lowest possible price, right? So there is no, how do you say, there's no too much of thinking lah, you know. So we have to get away from this fact that, oh, it's so much cheaper than my Chanel, or so much cheaper than my, you know, whatever, and therefore it can't possibly be of the same quality. So that's the first thing that as Atomians we have to change, because you are assured that this company, which is also in collaboration with the South Korean government, is giving you the best possible product at the best possible price. Okay, so that's why I wanted to emphasize that before I actually go on to talk about the two products I want to share with you guys. And both these products I use, and both these products I and my family use, and we find it very, very high quality, and yet we didn't have to burn a hole in our pocket, right? So again, I want you to keep remembering this, especially the new ones, that when you come onto the mall and you purchase any product, you will not get a product of similar quality at anywhere else cheaper than here. All right. I don't like to use the word because again, that's the association with quality. Cheap is bad quality, but here we can actually say it's a very affordable, very cheap price in comparison with what's out there, and you get the best possible cost. So what's the what do you call, what's the dilemma in coming onto this mall and purchasing the best products for your family? And I'll tell you that it's not just about the quality or the price. There are a lot of other things. As later when we go through the products, you'll see that there are a lot of thought. There's, you know, the products are very environmentally friendly. The products actually have, you know, are very much, let's just say, eco-friendly, right? So we will look at that. Okay, thank you very much. Let me just share my slide. Okay, now the first product I'm going to share with you guys is the product on is something that I take, which is the probiotics, right? I don't know how many of you actually have, but actually I'm almost 55. So when you're getting a little bit older, you have realized that the microbiome in your stomach needs a bit of help, right? And where did I reach out for help? I reached out to Atomy, and I got myself I don't know if you all can see this box, and then which comes in sachets. Okay, now you may have heard the probiotics has to be a live culture. You've got to refrigerate it. You know, if it's not alive, you know, and then it's useless and so on and so forth. I will show you the technology behind the Atomy probiotics, right? But before we go on to the Atomy probiotics, I am going to, and I also will share a testimony. Now, a lot of these slides actually was courtesy of one of our leaders who've actually shared this before. I've just added on a little bit for research. Okay, first and foremost, what are probiotics? Now, I don't know how many of you here take probiotics of one form or another, but anyone here actually uses probiotics? Can I have maybe in your chat you can put one so I know. How many of you here use probiotics? Thanks, Maldi. That's great. That's great, right? But for those of you who have not answered, or you are not really inclined to get, I hope after this sharing that you will understand how powerful probiotics is and why we actually need to consume this, especially in our stressful eating mama stall, you know, kind of life. Mama stall food kind of life. So what are probiotics? Okay, probiotics are a combination of, wait, hang on, let me just share this in a big way. Right, okay, I hope you all can see. All right, so probiotics are a combination of live beneficial bacteria and or yeast that naturally live in your body. See, we assume that bacteria means bad, but that's not the case, because there are good bacteria and then bad bacteria, right? So the idea is to increase the percentage of good bacteria and reduce or actually remove the bad bacteria from your body. But in today's life, sometimes it's very, very difficult to actually completely remove the bad bacteria. So the other way is to increase the percentage of good bacteria in your gut. Okay, now bacteria is viewed, as I said, as a negative light, and sometimes that makes you sick, blah blah blah. Again, you have two kinds. You have the good and the bad, right? Now probiotics are made up of good bacteria that helps keep your body healthy. Now, the main job of probiotics or a good bacteria is to maintain the healthy balance in your body. Later, you'll find even stuff like endocrinal effect, enzymes, hormones, all that are actually affected by your stomach. So, you know, the old adage, the old wives' tales, they say that, you know, you better feed him, he's hungry, or hungry man is an angry man, you know, all of those things is quite relevant because it actually comes back to a lot of this. Of course, they didn't understand probiotics at that point, but they have observed a lot of things. And those things actually are quite scientific today. All right, okay, anyway, so in summary, this is a WHO definition of what is probiotics. Now, so again, I have to go through this again. Between the stomach and the intestine. So if you look at the alimentary canal, I mean, what it starts with your mouth and it ends with your anus, right? Now, along the way, it's just like a huge snake that lies in the center of your stomach. And between the stomach and the intestine. So the food goes into your stomach, but your digestion already starts in your mouth, right? So your sugar digestion already starts here because you got amylase in your mouth when you chew, right? So that's the purpose of your teeth and your tongue, which is the food around so that it gets mixed up with the first enzyme, which is amylase. So it goes then down to, so from the stomach, it then goes down to your, through your esophagus, it goes down to your stomach. And between the stomach and the intestines, various lactobacilli and harmful bacteria coexist. Right, the good ones and the bad ones coexist. Healthy children commonly contain more than 90% of bifidobacteria. So that's a type of bacteria. Now, harmful intestinal bacteria increase with age because of the stuff we put in. Now, if you actually ask, if you do some studies on where does this actually bacteria comes from, right? It starts, most of your microbiome actually will mirror the microbiome that your mom had. Right? So once you're in your stomach and then in her, her womb, and we are giving birth, during that time, your bodily fluid gets mixed up, and that's when actually, so until then you're very, how do you say, you don't have much microbiome. So when you're born, then you have the microbiome and it increases with age. Unfortunately, the harmful intestinal bacteria also increases with age. Okay, so taking probiotics helps to prompt the growth of beneficial bacteria and to reduce harmful bacteria. All right. So what is the effect of lactobacillus? Well, lactobacillus is a microorganism that plays a helpful role in the intestinal environment upon arrival in the intestine. So what do they do? Right now, they live in mucous membrane, which produces lactic acid and makes the intestinal environment acidic. Now, that's also part of the digestive system. Right now, so you have certain parts of your body that's alkaline, certain parts that are neutral, certain parts that are very, very acidic. So like your stomach, for example, is very, very acidic. Right now, this allows the restriction of harmful bacteria because the bad and the good cannot exist in a highly acidic environment. So, and it favors the growth of beneficial bacteria, which grows well in acidic environment. Right. So now later you'll find that again, this slight caveat on this, not all bacteria, even good ones, cannot live in an acidic kind of an environment, but the lactobacillus can, right? But don't worry, our product has got 12 different types of good bacteria, probiotics, and you will see why that is very important. Okay, now this is again basically a cross section of a human being. When you find that actually, while the probiotics actually exist in your digestive health, it actually affects your whole body, right? Because it relieves mental disease. Disease is you're not at ease. It reduces that. It increases your immunity. It helps you with respiratory imbalances, cardiovascular, things related to your heart and lungs is also there. Skin health, right? It's if you have sufficient probiotics, you will have very much better skin health, and the wrinkling and all is delayed. And that's why some people who have very good microbiome actually look like they don't age much, right? So they're very careful about what they put in their mouth. So we think it's that, but it's actually the microbiome quality in your stomach. For women, there's vaginal health as well, because again, these openings are either acidic or alkaline, and then the relevant probiotics need to be there to make sure there's no entry of bad bacteria. right? And in infants too, it relieves colic and reduces incidences on severity of, say, some, they have got this stomach issues, gas, all those kind of stuff, right? But more importantly, you come back to the digestive health, which is the main reason why we should take probiotics. It creates balance within your system. It is a gut barrier function. It means it stops certain things, the inflammation, people have ulcers and stuff like that. Those kind of things. Later, you'll see that there's a very dangerous type of bacteria called H. pylori. And what it can do, it can actually burrow down into your stomach lining. And that one can live in a very acidic environment, and it's very dangerous. So anyway, so all of these are there. So diarrhea, on the one hand you have diarrhea, on the other hand you cannot go. So there's constipation, right? All these are actually affected by the high percentage of bad bacteria in your stomach. Right? So if you are the type of person who's got very, they call it weak stomach, then that you are a person who's actually going to have to look at this. In fact, later on, you'll see that even Alzheimer's and migraines and stuff like that are also affected by your stomach health. Okay, so what's the solution? Now, I've just generally given you the feedback or sharing on probiotics, but what is so special about Atomy Probiotics Plus? All right, first and foremost, it comes in a very easy packets. So you don't have to find a fridge to put your probiotics, and so how you're going to carry it, all those you don't have to worry, because this one specially put in sachets. So you just have to maybe take, you're going for away a few days, just take a few, put in your pocket and travel, right? That's number one. Number two is, remember I said that it has got, your stomach has got very high acid. So you would then ask, if I take probiotics, how would it escape the stomach to reach the intestine? Right? Now, because we have special encapsulation technology, what then happens is this protects the number of bacteria from reaching the guts where it's actually required. So you might sometimes find some brands will say, oh, we got 10 million, probiotics, or I've got 40 million. I've seen, but sometimes they don't tell you that it may be 10 million, but the one that actually reaches your gut probably is 500,000, because they whack it with so much so that some actually get through the acidic environment. So ours is especially encapsulated. So if they tell you 3 billion, the 3 billion will reach the necessary spot in your gut. Okay, so it comes in 60 sachets. So if you're going to buy a box, it comes in 60 sachets. That if you have 2 a day, that's a month's supply. If you have 1 a day, you just need to, you can keep it for 2 months. So later I'll show you why it's so much more cost effective than the other brands out there. And if you look at it, this is a approved and licensed in Malaysia. And there are the other thing I want to just raise you, if you say you're following from say UK and all, you will have to check your the content, because sometimes in Singapore, like say we have 13 bacteria, for example, 13 types of probiotics in the thing. So there are different countries because of certain regulations within the country, and then of course the requirement for halal and all those other things. You'd find that there may be different content in your products. Now, what I'm going to show you is the Malaysian products. What is you find in the Malaysian mall, right? So there are 12 types of mixed lactobacilli for the intestinal health. And if you have a diet, if you don't eat fiber, for example, if you eat a lot of meat and a lot of carbohydrates and stuff like that, especially overcooked stuff, you would find that your diet is very deficient in probiotics, and it may impact your health and immune function, right? But here we are saying our probiotics actually provides 3 billion lactobacilli in 1 sachet. So when you take 1 sachet, you will be consuming 3 billion lactobacilli. And because of the encapsulation technique, it will actually reach the gut. Okay, next. Okay, as I said, there are 12 types of thing. And this is basically, this is all actually from the website. For those of you who just joined, the one beautiful thing about the mall is, see, you don't really need to go and bug people about your products. All you need to do is direct them to the mall. And when they come to the mall, everything is actually explained in the mall itself, right? So it's accessible. It's accessible in the mall itself. Huh? All right. So basically, we got 12 types, as I said. So what are they? This is these are the 12 types that is found. It's also found actually at the back of your box, right? We mentioned, but of course they don't share this lah. Like for example, as I said, kids have a very high dose of bifido, right? So you have bifido breve, bifido, bifidum longum, and so on and so forth. So what do they do? That this one lowers the levels of harmful bacteria, so it's more of a fighter. This one can be found in breast milk, right? So once we stop nursing, we don't have this access into our body, but through these sachets, you will be able to get this. This one is found in the gastrointestinal tract. Then you have the acidophilus, which have a very strong viability. Then you have streptococcus. So all of these actually, guys, maybe later we can send you a copy of this for those who don't have access to this. But essentially, this will basically be a combination. Later, I'll show you a study that says sometimes it's like this, you can cook. It's something like putting things together. Sometimes, if you get the right blend, the sum is much greater than the whole. Are you with me? So 1 + 2 may actually be more than 2, 3, 4. So like this, the company is actually put together through a lot of research the best possible combination of bacteria for human health. Right? So if you look at it, there's some for acid and heat, which are acid and heat tolerant. There are something that is increases the lactic acid and comes through the fermentation of kimchi and all this kind of stuff. So it's amazing, the amount of technology that just goes into this little small sachet. It's just amazing, right? Now, there are, of course, other sub-ingredients that's there. Sometimes you find extract of banana, apples, raspberries, strawberries, and this all actually come depending on the country that you're in, the product that you're in, it should be in the box, on the box, right? Now, proper intake, basically, they're talking about this one. Take the sachet. It's very easy to consume. There's a dotted line. So you just do that, open it, put it in your mouth. There is no need to mix with water.
Sorry, Andrew.
Yes.
Is your slide moving? Because I only see the first slide.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know. Right, cool. Okay, Mr. Tan. Sorry, Mr. Tan. Thanks. I just saw this. All right, anyway, let me just reshare. Okay. Did you guys see this? This one?
Yeah. Good now.
You saw this, yeah? These 12 types of, okay, great. All right. Then how about the next slide? This one, I said, it depends on your country. There may be different products, what you call substance added into your, into your probiotics, yeah? Okay. How about this proper intake? So as I said, proper intake, basically, you just take 1 sachet a day, and you don't need to mix it in warm water, no need to mix, just consume, just put it in your mouth, and then to make it go down, maybe you can just drink some water. So everything happens inside. So you don't have to worry, because some products will insist that you have to keep it refrigerated. Some products say you must mix it in water to release the potency, all that tapa. And then here is very simple. Take the sachet, open it, put it in your mouth, maybe drink some water. It's very sweetish. It's not bitter. All right. Okay, so recommended users, I think there's a whole lot of people who can benefit from this. So I'm sure you have people who may fit into any one of this, especially the last one. I got very a bit scared when I saw that, because I sit for long periods. So people who sit for long periods, those who cannot digest, they lactose intolerant, a lot of this, especially those with bad breath, all these are indications of unhealthy microbiome, unhealthy gut health. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on. What are probiotics? Again, I don't want to go into the whole thing of it, but essentially what it is it's actually live bacteria, good live bacteria in a healthy person that provides positive health benefits. Okay, again, the source is FAO. Okay, maybe I'll skip this, because you all should know about the history of probiotics. How man discovered probiotics, how the milk spoils because of the bacteria, and then found a way to create pasteurization and all that. But sometimes we find that the pasteurization is not so great for is. I'll give you an example, guys. Now, when I first went to India, this was when I was a student, what they commonly call is Delhi belly, right? Which means you just have to run to the toilet. In fact, stay in the toilet all the time, But so after like a terrible day, I came down to try to grab something to eat because I was very weak. So I met this white gentleman, elderly. I think I was in my 20s. He was clearly in his 60s, right? And he looked at me. He's a backpacker, and he said, "Delhi belly, brother." He said. I said, "Yes, sir. It's really bad." I said, "Okay, now I'm going to share something with you that I have learned through bad experience." So I said, "Okay, what is that, sir?" So he said, "Okay, anywhere you go, whichever country you go, you must first drink their yogurt or at the very least eat their cheese." So I was puzzled. I said, "Why? What's the rationale for that?" He said, "See, your gut." Then he asked me where I was from. And I said I was from Malaysia. So he said, "Your gut is used to Malaysian bad bacteria." You follow? So it's used to bad bacteria from Malaysia. But when you come to India or you go to different countries, you are now introducing the bad bacteria from that country. Of course, we don't plan to, but it just happens in the drinks and whatever it is. So when you do that, your Malaysian soldiers cannot fight with that country's bad guys. You need the police from that country. So if you're going to say X country, even states, or even you go to some European countries, some of us still get because we're not properly, maybe the food is not hygienic or whatever. He says, go there, take the cheese or take the yogurt. So when you consume the yogurt and the cheese from that country, now you're introducing new soldiers into your stomach to fight with the bad soldiers of the country. And God, thank God, ever since then, anywhere I go, I find a place to drink their yogurt or have their consume. And please don't buy the ones in the supermarket. Those are really not so effective, right? So you go and try to find a farm, or sometimes they have this really quaint places that sell you cheese, the local cheese. Don't buy imported cheese, just buy local cheese and eat those things. And that really helped me. But when you come back to Malaysia, sometimes I don't know, for some reason, you also have situations where you get this, right? So the only other alternative is you tablet cari bacteria. I think cannot cari yogurt, and this one we always have ready-made help lah. Ready-made help. Okay. All right. Okay. Wait, I think it's got unshared. So that's something that I wanted to share with you. So now that the the borders are open, if you're going to be traveling, please just take note of this. Okay. Now I am going to. Okay, just 1 minute. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Having a bit of technical issue. Just 1 minute. Sorry. Okay. Right. Okay, I want to just share this this aspect with. This is a study done by Hannah Kleinfeld in 2020, quite recent one, where she did a study on probiotics and how sometimes the whole probiotics industry is a bit of a con. So, what can you all see this though? Yeah, can you all see? No, cannot.
No, not yet.
Okay, hang on. Let me just share that. How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So there are these things called CFUs. Of course, CFUs means that how many billion probiotics you have in your product and so on and so forth. So CFUs are units of measurement used to determine the number of bacterial cells in a probiotic supplement or lab sample. Right? Usually high CFU, like say 40 billion, 10 billion and all that, sometimes is seen as a quality indicator, but it is only one part of a high quality supplement. So the number of probiotics is not the final indicator of the quality. Yes, I'm going to go on. So what is the indicator of quality? So it's not just the number. First, it's the strain combination. Like I said, that our combination is 12, right? And they've done enough tests to make sure that this is the perfect one, not just for the Koreans, not just for the Japanese, not just for the Malaysians, but throughout, right? And in some regions, you'll find that they've added one or two other bacteria because that's a requirement of diet of those people, right? So strain combination is the first. Delivery mechanism is the second one. That's what I've said, that ours is encapsulated, so the delivery comes straight into, bypasses the acid. And third one is clinical studies. And Kerry and the partner who produces this, the yes partner, have sufficient clinical studies to show the effectiveness of our probiotics, right? So many probiotics, as I said, so high numbers, it's as if that's the only one for quality. It's not true, right? Oftentimes, the higher the CFUs, of course, the higher the price, because high CFU, high quality, remember I said, they whack you with the price. But how are you supposed to know that this is really the mark of quality? Because we want absolute quality, absolute price, correct? So we have been exposed to that by Atomy. Yeah, so other people actually fail because they cannot match Atomy's AQ AP, right? So is it worth paying more for these high CFUs, or is it really all that matters, right? So she did a study and she said that potency isn't just about that CFU number, right? So there are more to consider when you are going to invest in probiotic for yourself and for your loved ones. So in order for the probiotics to be effective, the good bacteria you swallow should be alive. That's the first requirement. Otherwise, you're just flushing good money down the toilet, right? So ours is, right? Next, the gut usually contains 400 to 600 different bacterial strains and species, right? So whatever that goes,
the slide is not moving.
okay, sorry. Okay, where are you guys now? Can you see this?
No.
Let me stop again. Let me stop and share. Sorry lah, I don't know why. What do you see now?
Yeah. Got.
All right, cool. So the next, hang on, that can you all see this? Potency.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right. So that's what I'm saying. So the probiotics has to be alive, right? Otherwise, it's useless, right? So the encapsulation keeps the probiotics alive until it reaches where it's supposed to reach. Yeah? So the 400 to 600 of the different bacteria strains and species in your stomach, first and foremost, not all are good, but the combination of the bacteria that goes in will actually help the other good ones to grow by killing their specific enemies. So if there's A, B, and C, and the enemy of B is E, you go in and kill E, the good bacteria C will pick up. You see what I'm saying? So that's why our technology is so great, because they've studied the stomach, they know this is existing. So they not only go in to replenish the good 12 bacteria, but they also go and enhance the microbiome, which is the good bacteria inside. So that's what the goal is. When you take a good probiotic, it is to add the beneficial bacteria back into the gut so that overall the environment is better. All right, can you all see this? The next slide. Okay, so it's very important on the combination of the bacterial strain. Right, so that's very important, as I said. Second one is the delivery mechanism. Again, I told you that the delivery mechanism must actually not, so that means it must protect the probiotics from being killed by the acid when it goes up, right? And therefore, we have that. And of course, the third thing that they want to look at, which you want to see, is the efficacy of what you're putting in your mouth, the science behind it, and the delivery mechanism of your probiotic supplement. All these tick for Atomy probiotics. Yeah. Okay. One other thing that I just want to just quickly say is improvements in digestion is often one of the first benefits people notice when taking probiotics. Right? You have friends maybe who can't finish their meal because their liver is heavy, for example, or who burp a lot, or essentially, or maybe run to the toilet immediately after a meal, right? So one of the first improvements that you see, which I saw also, was this when I took the probiotics, right? I used to have a lot of gas. Sometimes at night I have to get up. So now I don't have that problem, right? Okay, next. Yes, the other one is, so what does it do actually? What does this probiotics or good bacteria do? They actually assist in nutrient absorption. That means if I'm going to eat 100 grams of something and 10% of that needs to be extracted, when I have good system, 10% that whatever should be extracted is extracted, and the rest is thrown out as feces or thrown out as when you go to the toilet lah. So the alimentary canal is filled with viruses. They're like little fingers that's the inside. So your stomach, inside of your stomach isn't smooth. It's just like viruses, right? So when you take this, what sometimes happens, which I'm told by doctors, is this food gets stuck between the viruses. Especially when you don't take fiber, you take a lot of carbohydrates, for example, and they get stuck. When they get stuck, more rubbish gets stuck. So like a switch system, it gets stuck, and then the virus becomes hard and it cannot actually move the food along. So that's when sometimes you have constipation, right? And of course, these toxins will build up and cause other issues like ulcers and stuff like that. And of course, they reduce the nutrition absorption because the virus is now blocked. So a lot of these things actually, it's very, a lot of science is involved in our probiotics, product. And one of the things you would find the benefit is suddenly you find nutrition absorption is greater. You're getting more of the stuff, more bang for the stuff of you're eating lah. Number two, it immunes your immune system. Boosts your immune system, and especially during COVID times and stuff, you need your immune system in top performance. And sometimes they say, in fact, there's clinical study on this, is it even improves your cognitive function. Remember what I said earlier about hungry man, angry man? So your mood is actually affected by your stomach. So if, let's say, for example, you're in a state where you need to always run to the toilet, your attention span may be not so great, or you will respond in a very abrupt way and stuff like that. And it is so, having a good probiotics in your system definitely will help your mood, definitely help out your cognitive function, your ability to absorb information, and even helps with response to stress and sleep, right? So this is the research by this lady that she's done. Okay. Again, okay, sorry, okay, right. Now, again, they found the connection between an imbalance in gut bacteria and illness, including anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's, and even migraines. All right. So that's why I'm saying sometimes we ignore what we eat. We ignore our stomach or our bowel movements and stuff like that because it's the lower end. It's all shit and stuff. But we don't realize how powerful. In fact, I think I saw a Chinese video of this Chinese gentleman who said all human beings have two brains. One brain is here, one brain is here. Right? So I thought, wow, that was very interesting. So, and it's true in the case of probiotics. Yeah. Now, another thing, this also is the fact that intense sugar cravings, especially those who have problems with sugar problem, diabetics and all that, the intense sugar craving is actually a sign that you have the wrong kind of bacteria in your gut. All right. So if you, sometimes, and this sometimes happens when you're stressed. When you're stressed, the acidity level or the alkaline level changes. When the acidity alkaline level changes, some of the good bacteria dies because the acid goes up, right? So when the good bacteria dies, what happens? The bad bacteria increases. When the bad bacteria increases, they will give you the sugar craving that you seem to cannot control. So it's a very, very fine science that happens here. So this is another example of what happens if you don't have the right probiotics in your stomach, right? In fact, certain bacteria, including some yeast, can trick and some people have yeast infections, as well, can trick the brain into craving lots of sugar, as sugar is their favorite food to help them reproduce as quickly as possible. So be very aware if this is one of the things that you will face when you have this imbalance. Now, I want you to think about this, guys, because we think bacteria only what the hell can they do? I am a human being. I got will, I got whatever, I can control my stomach. Actually, the microbiome, if you count the microbiome in your body, for every human cell, there is one or even more. In fact, they say 10, 1 to 10. So for every cell you have in your body, you know, all your whatever, you have 10 times, sorry, not 10 times, slightly more than 1 trillion microbial cell, including bacteria, viruses, and fungi that live in your body. Not just your stomach, some live in your lungs and stuff like that. But and because they're small, they're only 1 to 3% of the body mass. Can you imagine 1 to 3% is 39 trillion microbiome, which is more than all your cells put together. Can you imagine the power of this microbiome? All right. So what does our microbiome do? Of course, the good ones help control storage of fat, assist in activating the genes and human cells, and so on and so forth. Now, let me just end this by just sharing this slide with you guys. Sorry, guys. There's so much to say. I hope you're getting some value on this. All right, so let me just share. So, okay, so what's the price of this? I'll end by saying the price, which is 123 ringgit, but you get 60 sachets, as I said. Now, there has been a comparison done. So you can go to this website and look at it. And they have done a comparison between the different types. You know, some has 25 billion, some have, huge different, they got 6 strains, 16 strains, and so on and so forth. But if you did, cost benefit analysis and price benefit analysis, you find that per dose, per sachet, ours is only 2 ringgit and 5 cents, which means we get, it's the cheapest, but it gives you the most benefit amongst all the others. So this is what I mean, guys, when I say absolute quality, absolute price, right? So without hesitation, you should get a packet yourself or get a box yourself. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Wow. I've taken a lot of time. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just introduce my friend. Raymond, are you here? Raymond has an interesting story, so I think I will let him give way to him. Thank you so much for your patience, though. I hope you got some value. Raymond, all yours, brother.
Hey, thank you very much, Andrew. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Raymond Marcus, and I'm here to just talk about my product experience. So basically, when I came into Atomy, it was through the introduction of a product, right? And the whole idea was I wanted something that was actually going to address a particular problem that I had. So as you can see here, for me, I have type 2 diabetes, right? So because of diabetes, one of the things that, one of the side effects is usually skin complications, right? You have problems where your skin can be dry, can be discolored. Sometimes it can also build calluses and all that. Now, for me, I had the third problem, which is basically I had a situation where there was thickening of the skin, particularly under my feet, on the soles of my feet. And that became a problem that actually it started sometime around 2003. Yeah, 2003. And I didn't realize it, right? Because technically you don't realize that you're diabetic because the side effects attack you first, right? And much later, you're finally diabetic. So there are so many signs that your body gives you to tell you that, hey, it's about time you took care of yourself. Unfortunately, of course, we don't heed those signs. We think that, blood test results are good. I'm all right. There's nothing to worry about. All these things that they say that you need to worry about, I don't see anything tangible here. Therefore, I don't see the need to do that. So this side effect of diabetes, even before, that means I was technically pre-diabetic, right? And I had this skin issue. I actually looked towards so many different products, okay, so many different products to see whether I could actually solve that problem. And from 2003, I only found my solution roughly about 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago when I got to know about this product. So Andrew just asked me to try. So he told me about it, and he said, why not you buy one? If you are really not happy, then I'll take it off your hands and I'll give you your money back. He was that confident. So I said, okay, yeah, but I told him, Andrew, seriously, I've tried so many things. I've spent so much money, and I'm an expert at this. I know that there is no real cure for this and stuff like that. Of course, Andrew was very confident. So I said, okay, let's see. And that's how I started. Okay, that's how I started. So the product itself is not very expensive. It was very affordable. It was about less than $35. 35 ringgit, sorry, 35 ringgit. So when I purchased it, I mean, it was not something that I had to think about a lot. And the moment I purchased it, it took some time, because you're talking about 2003 all the way till what, 2019, 2020? Yeah, 2019. All right, from 2003 to 2019. That's a build up of that condition for what, 16 years? Yeah, is my maths right? I'm not that good with calculations and all that. Yeah, okay, 16 years. So from 2003 to 2019, 16 years. So you can imagine how bad it would have been, right? How bad it would have been. So that is how I started. So when I looked at it, right, at first I was thinking that, I've tried all those expensive creams and all that, and you're expecting something as simple as a body lotion to actually do the job. And I've tried specific, foot creams and all that. These are all expensive creams that come in small packages with big price tags. But I didn't see much effect from that. So finally I tried that. And of course, I saw the effects. I'll show you the evidence of that in a while. So I saw the effects, and I was actually very surprised, because for something that is worth about less than $35, okay, sorry, 35 ringgit, I actually managed to see the difference. Okay, I managed to see the difference. So usually for me, when I talk to anyone about Atomy products, this is something that I always talk about. Okay. Now, naturally, for me, I have friends who are about my size, probably a few bigger, right? I think I'm one of the bigger ones, right? A few bigger ones, but the rest of them are, slightly smaller than me, but they're all similar to me, and they have similar conditions like this. So one of the things that I always talk about and I always introduce to them is this product, the Atomy Body Care Lotion. I know that for me, I've seen the benefits of it. And another thing that I've noticed also is this: when you have poor weight management, all right, speaking from experience, you also tend to have this type of skin problems at the soles of your feet. You will notice that the soles of your feet become very hard, and very easily it cracks, especially in under your toes. And the pain that you experience from that is actually crazy. It's a very needle pricking kind of pain, and it takes time to heal. So you need to actually have a very good moisturizing cream to address the problem. Okay, and that's where I see this being very effective. So for me, I see that happening for me, and I've seen this with a couple of my friends whom I've successfully introduced, and they've actually gone into the regime of using this particular product in place of whatever they used to buy before. And they have actually seen the positive effects of this. And the one thing that we were always worried, I mean, when you look at all the products out there, there are a lot of products out there that promises to deliver the results. But the only way they can actually create that results, at least something tangible for us to see within a short period of time, is through all kinds of artificial chemicals, right? So if you look at most of the foot creams out there, right, the commercial brands, you will find that they contain so much of chemicals that I don't think that you would want to actually do that. I mean, people who are not so educated about the effects of artificial chemicals on to their body, yeah, for them it's like, so what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. Everything is chemical, no? But through through all this education that we are going through, you know, like for example, like what Andrew spoke about just now and all that, we realize what chemicals can do to us, right? And one of the things that I was worried about is artificial chemical. And when I was given the presentation through the videos, you know, through Atomy CH and all that, realize what are the ingredients. And so when I looked at the ingredients, I said, hey, you know, I can't go wrong with this. It may not work, but it's okay. I'll just try it just to keep, you know, keep Andrew happy. After all, he's my friend, you know, so it's very difficult to say no and all that. But this is something that I actually consume every month. So if you look at my purchasing, when it comes to my Atomy account, the one thing that I purchase every month would be this cream, right? And yes, it's affordable. Okay, it's affordable, but the best thing is it works, right? It works. So to show you how bad it used to be, right? Sorry if the picture seems to be a bit gruesome, but the thing is you all need to understand where it was and where it is right now. So you'll notice the pictures on the left. So my right foot is here, my left foot is here, and you can see the dry calluses. Now this is you know, years and years of buildup. You will see, you know, like especially on my left foot, the cracks under the toe and all that. It's seriously, it was actually really painful. And the worst part is if I'm at home on the weekends, that crack will always appear, right? That crack will always appear, particularly when I'm up and about, walking, doing work, you know, when I'm in the kitchen, cooking and stuff like that, it always happens, okay? And it can be very painful, especially when you're going into the shower and the water hits you there, or, you know, you suddenly realize that, oh my God, you have a wound there, right? And if you're diabetic, you don't want to have any open wounds, right? But you can see the difference, huh? You can see the difference. Now, of course, we're not talking about, see, I started using this in 2019, late 2019. So the pictures that you see here, right, was taken, the before picture was taken somewhere around just before Christmas. When I first got it, it was in the beginning, I believe it was beginning of December, right? I got the product from Andrew, but I started using it only around January 2020, okay? Just a couple of months before lockdown. So this is in December. Now the picture that you see, the after pictures, right? That's about a year later. Now, there is no way, for me at least, I speak for myself, there's no way any commercial cream could give me this kind of effect within a year. Now I've been using all kinds of cream. Like I said, it's about 16 years, right? 16 years I've been trying so many things, been to specialists, spend hundreds of dollars, no, not hundreds, thousands of dollars, right? Cream after cream, injection after, you know, injections, serum after serum and so on, right? I didn't see the difference. So, but the thing is this, it requires patience, because for me, like I said, 16 years of damage, it's not going to happen overnight. Okay, 16 years of damage is not going to happen overnight. Okay, so it takes time. Of course, my condition is way better. Nowadays, I don't have to worry. I can actually walk around the house without sandals and all that. Okay, it's way better, right? It's way better. But of course, because I'm diabetic, the condition is not going to be cured. It's one of the side effects that happens because of diabetes. But the thing is, if I can have it not being like what it used to be, you know, in 2019, then it's already okay for me, because I don't have to worry about the cracks. I don't have to worry about wounds or anything like that. What you want is to be able to feel, you know, like if previously, if my wife were to tickle the sole of my foot, I wouldn't feel anything. Right now, I'll actually just pull my leg up, because I can feel that it's ticklish. So that's why I say that it takes time, right? It's not going to happen overnight. Okay, if you don't have a medical complication, the results will be way better than what you see here, for sure. Right, the results will be way better. If it's just a matter of dry skin, or you're just overweight, you manage your weight and all that, you'll see that you can actually reverse it, and it will be way better than whatever that you are facing right now. So that's the first product that I got introduced to. The second product that I started purchasing was the vitamin C. You see, we purchase a commercial brand, right? And we pay roughly about close to $100, okay? $100 to buy this. And this is something that we consume every month, okay? And what happened was, again, right, I went through, so Andrew taught me how to get into the platform to look at all this, what do you say, to look at all the products, to learn about the products and all that. So that's when I got into vitamin C. Now, previously it was a 500 milligram powder form. Of course, now we have got an improved version, which is the 1000 mg powder form. Now, for me, I inherited not money from my father, but sinus, right? That's something that my dad and I share, right? So it can be very bad, especially in the mornings. So vitamin C is something important. Salmon oil is something important for me. You know, it's part of my diet. I have to consume it so that I can actually keep things away. But the thing is this, right? Every time I consume vitamin C, I know that the moment I go to the toilet, majority of it is out of my system, right? It doesn't stay in my body. So what happens is I have to actually consume twice a day to see an effect. I have to consume twice a day. So you buy a 1000 mg product, all right? I have to consume it twice a day just so that I can see some effects. And this was, of course, prescribed professionally by my doctor. It's not self-medicated, but the doctor told me, look, you try this, right? And again, it's expensive, right? It's expensive. So when I switched to the 500 mg powder, right, I actually have so much of stock, you know, whenever there is stock available, I'm one of those people who literally hoards this item. So I'm going to finish my last box of the 500 mg and I'm going to try the 1000 mg. But with the 500 mg, I take it only once a day. That's it, right? And like, for example, today, I live in Seremban. So as I was coming back home from KL, rain was massive, you know, thunder, lightning and everything. And I had to stop, run to the, what do you call, ATM. So I had to park outside the petrol station, run to the ATM, got wet, and then came back home. I needed to get some groceries, ran into the grocery shop, got wet and stuff like that. Now, normally what would happen is, this happened at about around 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. At this point, you'd see me sniffling. That was previously, right? Even with the normal dosage of vitamin C. So I always had to use high dosage of vitamin C to help me with that. But with the 500 mg powder, okay, the Atomy vitamin C, that's I only took it once a day, right? And right now I'm still on that sachet, right? I'm still on that sachet. Probably have another 20 left, and then after that I'll be replenishing my stock. So what I can see is basically it helps. And the thing is, I don't need so much. And again, when it comes to chemical, when you have tablets, you have fillers to make sure your tablet comes into a form. The fact that it comes in a powder form also is a good thing. Why? Because you don't have any kind of unnecessary ingredients inside that product just to create a shape, or maybe to have an emblem just to make it look presentable, marketable, and so on. You don't need that, right? What you need is just the proper product, right? And if you see, that it's just ascorbic acid, that's it, ascorbic acid, right? And if you go to the learning center, they will do a demonstration way to show how potent the ascorbic acid is, right? So you can see for yourself how much better this product is compared to whatever you find in the market. So that's the reason why I switch. And again, cost effective. You see the effect, right? And it's very cost effective. So as a result of that, I don't have to stinge to purchase this kind of this item for my family, right? Otherwise, the focus is always me because I'm the one with all these allergies, right? So the focus is always me. So other people have to compromise just so that I can have it first. So if we have, we can afford after buying other stuff, okay, then the others will say, hey, okay, why not I also buy some for myself. But in this case, I don't have to do that, right? I don't have to do that. So these are the plus points that I see as far as these two products are concerned. Like I said, you want to enjoy a good quality product, but you don't want to break your inheritance or your bank account now. That's the main thing. And that is something that I have managed to get from this. Now, I don't buy everything. I mean, lipstick all is not my thing now, okay? But whatever that I use is highly, I would highly recommend it, okay? And normally what I do is that, for example, the vitamin C, right? I'll always keep an extra sachet in my pocket because suddenly somebody wants it. Like, for example, in my office, I've got this one person who's very easily, she easily gets the sniffles and all that. And the first thing I do, I just say, like, quickly, just pop this into your mouth. And that's it. And next thing you know, she started purchasing. She tried it a few times. She started purchasing it. And next thing you know, first she was buying it through me. She said, Ray, can you get it for me? But I managed to educate her, and now she purchases it herself, right? And she really uses it because she used to depend on antihistamines a lot. The type of antihistamines she used to consume was really strong, right? Really, really strong. So my personal experience as far as these two products are concerned is, I would say, hands down, compared to commercial products, they are better. Compared to commercial products, they are more affordable, right? Compared to the quantity you consume with commercial products, these are less. The last thing you want is to be pumping yourself with so many quantities of medicine. You don't mind eating a lot of chocolates, a lot of ice cream and all that, but you don't want to be pumping yourself with so many tablets, medication and all that. So if I can just take a small thing, a small amount once a day, hey, I'm very happy with that. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. All right. That's just something that I wanted to share with you guys, my product experience. I also consume other items and all, but maybe another time when I have the time and I'm given the opportunity, I speak to you all about my other product experiences as well. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, buddy. All right, great sharing, great sharing. So, guys, you all have any questions? Okay, before that, let me just apologize that I wanted to also talk about the fabric detergent. We've run out of time. I'll keep it for another day. Only thing I want to tell you is everything that you need to know about the product is actually on the mall itself. So just go have a look. I love the product because of three things. Number one, it's very, it doesn't have any chemicals. See, when you wear a shirt that's been washed with the usual detergents, they have a lot of coating of chemicals, like what Ray said. And the skin is the largest organ, that's exposed to the shirt, right? So it's actually going in, and your liver is now fighting to get rid of that. So you would not have all that problem with the Atomy products, right? So for me, it's because it's cost effective, because it's just a beautiful product in the sense that there's no chemicals. And thirdly, we all say we love the world, we love environment, right? One time you put your clothes through a spin cycle, you're throwing out 30 liters of polluted water. Don't tell me that's how you love the world. So if you change this, then I will truly believe that you actually love this planet and each other, right? So sorry for not completing that, but perhaps another day. Let me just thank you very much for giving me and Ray this opportunity. Thank you, Yam. Thank you, Sita. Thank you, everybody here. If you guys have any questions, we can take any questions. If you guys want, just put it in the chat or unmute yourselves. Can you unmute Hong Lee, bro? Yeah. You want to say something? I see you put up the hand. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, okay, all right, cool. All right. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I think we've really kept you past the time. And hope you all got value from today's sharing. Yeah, see you all soon. Bye-bye.